The Shining is a psychological horror film written by Stanley Kubrick in 1980. The movie is based on Stephen King's novel, The Shining, written 3 years before. The film's main character is Jack Torrance, an aspiring writer and recovering alcoholic who stays the winter with his family at the Overlook Hotel as the off-season caretaker. Taking place in the Rocky Mountains, the setting is eerily isolated and only few other characters are shown in the film. Jack's son Danny has psychological powers, or the Shining, which lets him see into the gruesome history of people's past and the hotel. Get Out is a 2017 horror film written by Jordan Peele, and this movie captures the relationship between Chris Washington, a young black man who uncovers a disturbing secret when he meets the family of his white girlfriend, Rose Armitage. While staying with the Armitage family, Chris notices peculiarities with the things happening around the house and certain behaviors that Rose's family displays. One example of this is the father's relationship with deers.
We actually hit a deer.
What?
Yeah.
Is it dead?
Yeah, that's horrible. Are you guys alright? Yeah, it just freaked us out.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. We got it pretty good.
Yeah, it must have freaked you out.
That's fucking weird. But you know what I say? I say one down, a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean to get on my high horse, but I'm telling you, I do not like the deer. I'm sick of it. They're taking over. They're like rats. They're destroying the ecosystem. I see a dead deer on the side of the road. I think to myself, that's a start.
I don't even understand that.
I'm just
sorry.
saying. You know what? I am grateful for what you've done today. I don't like.
We got that. Yeah.
All right, you guys look.
Once the couple arrives, they tell the parents how they hit the deer on the way, and when the dad mentions how he gets happy seeing the deer, it definitely seems strange because this is the first time he's spoken to Chris. The father ranting about how much he hates deer and it brings him joy sticks out because it just sticks out as strange because the viewer can't really put his finger on the significance, but it's definitely a red flag for Chris. This strange this film utilizes a lot of subtle aspects that ultimately create fear out of the fact that the viewer can't tell why something is wrong, but they're able to tell that something is not right. Get Out uses mise-en-scène by alluding to black people as deer because deer are often hunted as are black people in the film, which is a profound idea that does not jump out at the audience until later on in the film. This use of mise-en-scène and symbolism further develops the feeling of fear in the movie. Another harbinger to how black people are hunted like deer in the movie is when the buck is looking down on Chris at the end, kind of tying the deer metaphor together. This is before he was getting surgery. It's most obvious at this point in the film because Peele has the camera pan onto the deer looking down on Chris right before he's being prepared and killed for his body, connecting the symbolism between the deer being hunted like black people in the film. The deer is mounted on the walls as a trophy, and it represents how the family sees black people that they capture. The term buck is also a old derogatory term for black men, and this just makes the connection that bucks on the wall being displayed in the mise-en-scène like trophies represent the black man and his body even more obvious because Peele has mounted the deer as the focus on multiple occasions. The film The Shining uses a less subtle approach to create fear. Rather than foreshadowing and using symbolism in the mise-en-scène to create fear, Kubrick utilizes mise-en-scène to create tension by putting the audience on edge and leaving them vulnerable to being caught off guard. Throughout the film, he uses a suspenseful mise-en-scène to make the viewer on edge and to have their feelings stirred up with fear and discomfort. One example of when Kubrick utilizes mise-en-scène to create fear is when Danny's biking through the halls, and the ambiguity of what lies behind the corner creates uneasiness with the viewer, since they are left vulnerable for something unexpected like a jump scare.
Come and play with us. Come and play with us, Daddy. Forever and ever and ever.
Danny sees the butchered girls across the hall after having turned through several corners and seeing nothing. This was unexpected because all the turns had let the viewer's guard down, and the inability to predict when something was going to pop out at the audience created significant fear, because now the audience was on edge and at the end of their seat, hoping not to be surprised again. By showing Danny seeing the girls and then having them disappear is creepy, because it allows the viewer to wonder if the girls are really there or if it is just in Danny's shining ability. The overall obscurity that Kubrick utilizes is the mise-en-scène, and this leaves minimal readiness and understanding, creating opportunity to incite fear, since uncertainty is a precursor to fear.